WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no guy, it's me, really real, feeling real, Terrell, Furman Jr. here at your service. Man. I mean, we're getting to the point of the season where win totals are coming in. And this is where cash has just come through left and right, left and right, left and right, here, there, everywhere. You get money, you get money, you get money. That's what happens when you listen to this show. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. If you're just now coming through here mid-season, we have a number of stuff that's already come through for us. Mm-hmm. Starting first and foremost with my Valkyries at plus 2,000s to make the playoffs. Clearly, we were way too good for the win total. It was plus 2,000 to make playoffs, and that happened. So the win total that was sitting there at 13.5 when we first bet it, it dropped all the way to 7.5 when the Sharps, if you're listening on audio, you didn't catch the air quotes there, said that this Valkyries team was going to be no good, and they bet it all the way down to 7.5. I mean, just imagine the thought of some people that had 13.5 under Valkyries ticket and then saw 7.5 and was like, I got great CLV. No, you didn't know what was going on with this team. Just like the freaking schedule makers didn't know what was going on with this team, because the schedule makers didn't believe that whoever scheduled Chase Center didn't believe in the Valkyries. Clearly, I'm the only person in the freaking world that believed in the Valkyries this year, Scott.
We're going to play against San Jose.
I just can't. Yes, San Jose. I mean, we're going to San Jose for our first playoff game, home playoff game. And we've had one of the best home courts all season. Better home court than the Aces, better home court than the Liberty. The only home court that ain't better than us is the Lynx. I mean, this is absurd.
By the way, just in case you don't actually know what we're talking about, it was announced a couple days ago, right after the Valkyries clinched a playoff spot. Shout out to the plus 2,000, by the way, that you have. But the Valkyries officially announced that the Chase Center had a previous obligation, and because of that, they would not be able to actually host the home playoff game for the Valkyries in the upcoming first-round series. So the Valkyries, in theory, can still get a home playoff game, a true home playoff game, if they win a round or so. But they're going to be playing in a separate arena because the Chase Center already agreed to do something else. So despite having one of the best home courts in the entire league, and despite actually having at least one home game in the first round, it will not be a true home game because the Valkyries are not going to be able to play in the Chase Center in the first round. That's what that means. So even though the Valkyries had everything right, even though they ended up making the playoffs despite nobody believing in them, even the actual stadium arena organizers didn't believe in them because they booked the arena for something else. So
and I can't even figure out what it is.
Yeah, I assumed it was a concert if I had to guess.
I mean, there's no date. I keep looking for a date on what's going on that day in the playoffs, and there's nothing going on. So I just want to know.
The Valkyries now have to fly basically or travel to San Jose just to find a basketball arena to pretend that it's a home game. That's kind of what happened there in the first round. Now, they're not going to be hosting a series, so at least they're not getting home court advantage, but still, maybe the series comes down to a home game. We'll see, but it's not going to be a true home game, and they've had one of the best home courts in the entire league. So
I can tell you where they can go shove that prior obligation. They can go shove. I know that we're not censored on the podcast, but those words aren't even welcome here. So,
and their games sell a bunch of tickets too. It's not like nobody shows up. They have a sellout in almost every home game.
I cannot believe. I mean, they get the home playoff series, and they don't even get to enjoy the second freaking game being a home game. This is ridiculous. Whatever. All right. Other than that, we had a lot of cashes. Connecticut Sun under 16.5. Throw that in the bucket. Minnesota Lynx over 27.5 wins. That cashed a long time ago. We've got the Aces. The Aces somehow win total. It depends where you got the number, but somehow the Aces win total is about to cash, or it already cashed for you. No idea how that one came through, but shout out to us, Scott. No idea. And then somehow, some way, I mean, my optimism on the Seattle Storm was warranted in somewhat kind of ways. They still cashed over the win total, over 20.5 wins, but
we both like that, but they've been underachieving. But it doesn't matter. A win's a win.
Valkyries plus 2,000 to make the playoffs carried the card, though.
Yeah.
Very much so. And it's so good because now I don't have the sweat. Because remember, I was debating if I was going to play playoffs or Natalie Nakase Coach of the Year. And I was like, I should just play the playoffs. I'm getting a better number. And now I don't have to sweat out Coach of the Year. I
have to imagine Nakase is going to win it anyway, but we'll see what happens.
By the way, if you haven't known who's been talking to me this entire time, Scott Studio Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beam me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, happy to be here once again. Pretty fun to see the end of the regular season. I enjoyed that it was extended by a couple of games. We're not officially done yet, though. We have some seeding stuff to take care of, but right now, 7 of the 8 playoff teams have been decided. The one exception actually involves the team you just mentioned with the win total, which was the Storm, because once again, we might have a situation where every team that makes it is at least 500. Congratulations. We finally have a league that does not have the Dream, who are 10 games under 500, making the playoffs. But the point is, right now, the Storm and the Sparks are the only 2 teams fighting for a playoff spot. That's it. The rest is seeding. The other teams were eliminated. Right now, it is Storm versus Sparks for a chance to make it. The Sparks have 1 extra game in hand, but right now they are a game and a half back of Seattle. So Seattle's got 1 game left in the season. The Sparks have 2. Those are the only 2 teams playing for an actual playoff qualification spot. The rest have already qualified. The only question is seeding. So there you go. Wanted to mention that.
Yeah. They really did my Valkyries so dirty this year. So I'll tell you right now, it's a good chance the Valkyries don't make it into the next round because of this. It's very annoying. Thought they could have upset somebody outright. Helm, shout out to the 1999 Super Chat. Appreciate y'all for the season, I assume. Thank you so much for that. Go get a beer later. Do something with that. All right.
I do want to ask, by the way, just asking before we get into the games, I know it might overlap. If you are picking Seattle or LA to get into the playoffs, do you have a certain feeling? Because Seattle's in a good spot. The Sparks' schedule is difficult. We'll talk about the Sparks in a second. They have a pretty tough game going on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Seattle eventually just gets in?
I can't say. What's the let me see. Let me pull up the playoff clinching criteria here.
For the record, LA did beat Seattle 3 out of 4 this season, so I believe they do own the tiebreak.
Because, let's see.
Pretty sure they own the tiebreak.
Lottery bound. Storm have the inside track. This is a little bit late. It said 1.5 games up on them. I don't know if they're still 1.5 games up on them.
Yeah, they are.
They are? Mm-hmm. All right, let's see.
The point is, though, the Storm play their final game tonight. Seattle plays tonight against the Mercury. They also have another game.
So for the Sparks to clinch, they need to so it is pretty straightforward. Sparks got to win against the Mercury and the Aces. The Storm have to lose this game to the Valkyries. If the Storm win, they do clinch.
Yes, it's basically a 3-game parlay.
Nah, I wouldn't place that.
No, it is. The Sparks.
It is. No, it is. I'm saying I wouldn't place that parlay.
I wouldn't either. But basically, once again, the Sparks have to win out, and the Storm have to lose their last game against the Valkyries.
That's what happens when you don't play fucking defense. Like, it's not even like the Sparks are really like as bad. And honestly, I think the Sparks under win total comes through, Scott, because I'm almost positive it was 20.5. I got to go back and double check.
It might have been. I believe it was around there.
I think if we get these last two losses, the Sparks win total under comes in as well. That would be amazing. But yeah, no, this Seattle team, which is so crazy that they find themselves in this predicament, Scott, because they beat.
I can tell if you lagged. Yeah, I think
Seattle beat Minnesota at home. Seattle actually.
No, I think you're back now. Yeah, you're back. You lagged for like 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw something pop up. All right. Yeah, no, as I was saying, Seattle's one of the few teams that has actually beaten Minnesota at home this season.
Mm-hmm. That was recent, too. That was like a couple weeks ago.
Yes. They actually match up pretty well with Minnesota, and NECA has really good games against the Minnesota Lynx. So they have 2 wins this season against the Minnesota Lynx. I don't think anybody else can say that for the rest of the season. I have to go back and search through the Lynx losses. I don't think anybody else could say that they have 2 wins on them this season. So it's crazy. It's crazy that the Seattle Storm, through all the misfortunes that we've had over the past few weeks, are probably going to end up getting some type of bet from me in the first round of the playoffs. But it seems like they wanted Minnesota, and Minnesota is not a terrible matchup for them. So, wow, this is crazy. All right, let's get into it. Before we get to the 5-game slate that we got to talk to you about first, got to remind you that the merch store has 25% off everything right now. Go to that merch store, store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com, promo code football. It's a really, really nice windbreaker in there. You got the refs, our terrorist hoodie. I need to get that. That's about to be the next one because, I stay with a hoodie, guys. So I'm going to get the refs, our terrorist hoodie, and be sporting that at the games. With that, just make sure you go use that promo code football, store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com, and you can get 25% off everything in the merch store. All right. A lot of scenarios going on here. Crazy the last few days. When's the last few days of the WNBA playoffs that we've had? There's still seeding scenarios that could happen. Yeah. It's a lot going on. New York Liberty are at home, welcoming the Washington Mystics on Scott. I'm not sure if you're aware, this is fan appreciation night for the Liberty. Shouts out to me still being on Liberty chain emails, giving me information. Yes, today is fan appreciation night for the Liberty. Liberty are laying 14, 157.5 is the total. Let's see. Let me pull up an injury report. All right, let's see here. For our New York Liberty, nothing to report here. For the Mystics, J.C. Sheldon still out, of course. So with that being said, you have the Liberty laying 14.5. Well, 14 here. I assume the thought process behind the Liberty laying these points is they've got to get right at some point.
Yeah. You mentioned seeding before. It actually doesn't matter much for the Liberty.
They're locked into the 5, it seems like.
Yeah, they're right now 2 games ahead of the Valkyries, and they're 2 games behind the Mercury. And the Mercury, I believe, have the tie break. So I think they're just stuck. Now, you could argue that it's still important to get some momentum going because they've been quite bad. But Phoenix is 3-1 against them this season, and I want to pull up how they've done against the Valkyries this season. New York in the head-to-head. Sorry, trying to find that. New York is 3-1. Yeah, so they're basically stuck into the seed that they have. So it doesn't matter.
All right. Let's see. The Mystics have been horrible. This would just be, straight up. We're going to go out there. We're going to compete. It's our last game of the season for the Mystics. And let's show something. Some type of player playing on the bench, show something and trying to secure themselves a roster spot for the next season, especially in that backcourt, because Sidney Johnson already talked about it. We got to get a shooting backcourt that is good enough to be able to play with Shakira Austin and Kiki Iriafen, because they have played great inside of the post as their front court for them all season. And they've never had the point guard, honestly. to be able to consistently run offense for them. Sonia Citron was a rookie. She was raw. She was cool. She had her moments, but it wasn't consistent enough. They need a lot better guard play. So do the Mystics just lie down here? Probably. I just think the Liberty need some type of motivation going into the playoffs. And they still got to play this guy.
I'm with you. I'm taking the Liberty for this game. Now, we said before seeding is not going to matter for the Liberty in this game because they're stuck into the spot that they actually have. But you got to start ramping some stuff up. It's been a pretty rough couple of months. You've had injuries involved. Now you're starting to get a bit healthier. I mean, for the injury report, the Liberty actually have nobody listed. And this team is still pretty short when it comes to the title odds. One, because they won the title last year. Two, because they still have a bunch of talent on the team.
Yeah, we haven't seen them healthy.
That's what I'm saying. With all the injuries they've had, you might have forgotten how much talent this team does have at full strength. I know we had a debate against the Mystics about the Mystics once they traded away Sykes.
Yep.
And I thought they were going to implode. And they've lost 9 in a row. They've been really bad. I think the Liberty should dominate this game if they care. So give me the Liberty at home. It's fan appreciation night, whatever that means, because they have not appreciated the fans all season. But I'll go with the Liberty minus 13 now.
They did. I mean, it's easy to forget that, like, in the beginning part of the season, the Liberty looked like a runaway favorite to be able to win everything, and they just got hurt. And so
I like the under 2, as Helms is pointing out, though, because the Mystics offensively have been quite underwhelming recently, especially on the road. This team on the road's been a mess, and I've been mentioning it for months. I got the Liberty in the under.
By the way, Scott, if all standings stay the same, the Liberty and the Mercury are the teams that have been screwed by the 1-1-1 home rule for the first round of the playoffs.
Because you have to travel West Coast, East Coast, back to the West Coast.
Yep. So very, very much interested to see what that series looks like. Although, let's just go ahead and drop the seeds right now. Playoff Cloud is back.
Yes.
Is going to be back and playing against a former team. As much as I'm concerned about the travel spot in this series, and this series makes me nervous because I just think that is a crazy added wrinkle to add to it, and it could really screw one or both teams. But Playoff Cloud going up against their former team, my fingers are itching. I want to go ahead and get the bet in. All right, we're both going Liberty. Let's see.
I'm assuming you agree with me about the under, though, for this one.
Yeah. Mrs. can't score.
Yeah.
Player props.
I don't really have much, though, because we're trying to guess how motivated the Liberty are going to be and how they should try to look sharp for some momentum purposes. The game means nothing to both teams, technically.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I really want to be chasing props that much, but you have any thoughts? Because I don't really feel great about props in this game if I don't really know for certain what energy level we're getting. I've mentioned before, I don't mind like Citron on the under RA, but I don't see the RA being listed. But I still like that prop if it does get posted at some point. Jonquil rebounds have been good against this team. The rebounds, though, have not been good lately, so I can't really pick her there. Yeah, I don't really have much for props, honestly, because we're trying to bank on the Liberty to show some form of pride and to build some momentum. But the game really means nothing for both teams. So I think I'm just good having pretty minimal action in this game.
I agree. I think that Jockwell Jones may be interesting. The 20.5 PR is interesting. And or just go Kiki and say that they begin to pull people late. Kiki's still playing. Last game of the season, really doesn't matter. And she just snags a bunch of boards. A couple of ways that I would look at that. But I agree with you. Not a lot of action going on in this game. All right. Let's see. Before we get to the next game in the slate, got to talk to everybody about MyBookie.ag, your place to bet every single sport, including NFL, college football, WNBA. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. So head over there, easy deposit using cryptocurrency. Head to MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Shot rhythm as well. You can go over there, lock in. College football is back on rhythm. WNBA's been on rhythm. NFL is back, and they are really starting to roll with the player props yet again. Very, very good on Baker Mayfield, Tyreek Hill, and Josh Allen props last season. Make sure you go check it out. You can track your 5 bets of the same type from any model, and you could win $1,000 just like that. It is a weekly leaderboard with cash prizes. Just track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. So get over there, 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Second game up. I love the shotgun start here. 7 p.m. was the Liberty game. 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast is happening on the major 4-letter network. We've got the Minnesota Lynx on the road going to play the Indiana Fever. Lynx are laying 2. 163.5 is the total. Injury report, and I have here for Indiana. Wow, look at all these names. You know that person's out. 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 And you should know all that and that person out. So Ari McDonald, Sidney Colson, Sophie Cunningham, Clayton Clark, Chloe Bibby. You all know they are out. You've got, for the Minnesota Lynx, nothing to report. Now, say that with a grain of salt. The Lynx have been going a good portion of the day, typically letting them get morning shoot around. I would say sometime before afternoon shoot around, they're ruling somebody out and, giving somebody a break. They did it with Caitlin McBride a couple of days ago. I think it was Alana Smith last game, Scott. So grain of salt what Cheryl Reeve does with the team here, because it seems like one random piece player is getting a break every game until the playoffs.
As she should be doing, to be clear.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, like somebody get a rest. But Caitlin McBride, Alana Smith, both have had rests here. I'm curious who's going to be that person here in this game. I doubt it's going to be Fee, as Fee is still battling in an MVP race. With that being said, we're on the road with the Minnesota Lynx here, Scott.
Well, wait, you said you doubt Fee's already been ruled out.
Oh, Fee has already been ruled out. Okay,
so yeah, Fee and Carrington are both out for this game.
Okay. So Fee's out. Dejanay's out. Why is that not here? What is this? Okay, forget that. This can't be updated. Let's exit that out. So Fee is officially out. With that being said, it really doesn't change the handicap too much. I think I understand why they're dropping the line because, it's Fee. But you got to understand, one, this Minnesota team was still really, really good without Fee. And I figured them out. You just fade them in the first half and you take them for the full game. They haven't been able to get it in the first half. And then you have legendary Cheryl Reeve take them into the halftime, get them together, and then they come out locked in, ready to go, focused. The Minnesota Lynx here are actually 6-7-1 ATS in the first half, which they're doing as a favorite in majority of those games. And all of that since the All-Star break, 6-7-1 in the first half. You look at what they're doing in the first half on the road. We talked about it earlier this season with how bad the Minnesota Lynx are on the road in the first half. Well, you look at it right here, they are 2-5-1 since the All-Star break in the first half on the road. They have not been able to get that done. However, it gets better, 4-4 ATS on the road once the game is over. So they're really, really slow starters. They figure it out in the second half. That's what happened to my Valkyries over the course of the weekend, Scott. My Valkyries won the first half, looked really, really good in the first half as a dog, and then completely blew the game on the road, and the Minnesota Lynx went out there and got the win. I think this could be something similar, and Fee not playing really doesn't have too much to deal with me. I know this Indiana team is a little scrappy with them. They've also been very good in the first half number at home, 6-1 ATS in the first half over the last 7 games since the All-Star break. So that's how I'm going to play it, Scott. I like Indiana in the first half. I would play the full game, but, not enough faith there. Just give me Indiana +1 in the first half. They'd be able to get this done. And what do you like?
Yeah, so I want to quickly mention the standings here for the Fever because they own the tiebreak in Seattle. Seattle cannot pass them. They can, in theory, pass the Valkyries because right now they are half a game behind the Valkyries. Valkyries have a game in hand. The Valkyries have a game in hand. So the Valkyries, I looked at their schedule. They play the Storm tonight. They play the Lynx in their last game of the season. The Lynx might bench the entire team in the last game of the season. Now, the Valkyries own the head-to-head, so there's only one outcome that the Fever have of not ending up in the 7 spot. Realistically, they're probably going to be the 7 seed. Now, I do think at the end of the day, the Lynx I would pick to win this game because we've seen them for a month or two without Collier win a bunch of games anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it really matters that much. Now, I know Carrington's been good too since she joined the team. You could argue Minnesota might be coasting. Maybe we'll see Cheryl limit the minutes of the other star players on the team for this game. We'll see. I'm taking Minnesota, though. At the end of the day, we've seen this team dominate even without Collier in the lineup, so I'm not going to panic if that's the case. And it is technically a must-win game for the Fever, but I don't think it's going to matter much in the end because I think they will be getting the 7 seed. Do you think with all the injuries to the guard position that they have, they still can handle Courtney and company? Because I don't. I don't know if I trust this backcourt at all when you have that many injuries. And now Sims got hurt too. So we'll see what happens. But Sims is going to play in this game, but she got banged up last time out. So we'll see what happens. But they have so many injuries to the backcourt. I just don't feel great about them health-wise. So I'll go with Minnesota. As Helms is mentioning, if Heidemann ends up playing serious minutes, that's fine. She might win 6th person of the year. Like, she can come in and drop 20, as Helms is mentioning. I'm going to go with Minnesota anyway. But if you want to go for motivation, then I guess you're blindly taking the Fever. But I still think they're going to finish as the 7 seed, so I don't think it matters that much.
Yep. I don't think standings are changing.
Yeah, me too. And I think you agree with me, though, Minnesota, even if the Valkyries lose to Seattle, Minnesota might bench the entire team in that final regular season game.
Agreed.
So, we'll see.
At least somebody, maybe not, but like a couple of players. It just seems, this is 3rd game in a row that she staggered this rest. And I mean, sure, that's why Cheryl Reed gets the big bucks, man. It's a really good plan. It's like not sitting everybody and just staggering people throughout the last few games. Very good plan.
By the way, just in case nobody noticed, the Lynx have already clinched the 1 seed. They are officially playing for nothing. Just to be clear. They clinched the 1 seed weeks ago, but just to full disclosure, there's no chance they get past.
Minnesota Lynx have clinched the 1 seed.
Yes, they clinched that. You could argue 2 months ago, if we're being honest here. But nobody can catch them. That's why they're sitting so many people.
Maybe not the heaviest days that you want to be going in these last couple of days of the season. Maybe not the heaviest games you want to be betting. All right. 163.5 is total. I would probably still go over. I'm not going to lie.
I'll go over too.
And somebody said Jessica Shepard points in the chat. Shout out to the chat. W's in the chat. Spam W's in the chat.
It's at 14.5 for Shepard points.
She's been over in 3 of the last 5 without fee. So that's pretty good. A little plus money there. I could sell myself on Shepard having a nice little game.
Do you have any thoughts on Kelsey?
I was going to just take Kelsey. Wow, Scott. That's crazy. If we were playing the guess what each other's saying game, we would have got it right because we both would have said Kelsey. But yeah, no. I have
to bring her up first because she's been going crazy. So I have to ask.
No, 20 points from Kelsey sounds pretty reasonable, assuming how she's had 20 or more against the Minnesota Lynx in 5 of her last 6 games against them.
Yeah. And
the only game that she did not score 20, it didn't count because it was the Commissioner's Cup game. So,
and nobody scored in that game.
And so, no, Kelsey Mitchell over 19.5 points feels like it's way too low. And that's a little juice. So if you want to go up to 20.5 for Kelsey Mitchell, I think this is still a solid play. Like, as she's the leading scorer, and, nobody else is there opposed, I'm going to continue to keep taking her and keep backing her. So I like Kelsey Mitchell to go over. Let's see.
I thought about maybe going Sims assists at 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 110 on the over. I mean, she has had at least 4 and 3 the last 4 games. Against the Lynx, she's been up and down. She has gone over in 3 the last 5, but it might come down to minutes, but they have so many injuries to the backcourt. I'm kind of hoping that she just gets a bump in playing time here. But if we're picking Kelsey out of a monster game, I think Sims can facilitate that. So I don't mind Sims assists. 3.5 does feel kind of low at -110 against a compromised Lynx team because they're sitting a bunch of people. So I don't mind. There's a chance they'll like maybe sit another player before the game. We'll see. So keep an eye out for that too. But I'll go for Sims 3.5 assists. Give me the over.
Scott, I'm wearing a New York Giants hoodie that's not indicative of my support of the New York Giants. Just wanted to make sure you knew that.
Okay.
Didn't want you to be confused while we're here on the show. And
you're just waiting for Dart to take over.
No, I'm not. I'm not waiting for anything. I'm not supporting the Giants at all. It's just cold in here, and I need a hoodie. I should have wore it inside out.
Well, to be clear, they play the Cowboys this week, so you will be supporting the Giants this week. Just out of principle.
No. Am I supporting the Giants this week,
so.
Scott?
I think making fun of the Cowboys is worth.
He's 0-6. He's 0-6 against the Cowboys.
Oh, I didn't say he was going to beat the Cowboys. I'm just saying I figured that just for the joke of the Cowboys losing to Russell Wilson, it would be worth for you to root for them for 1 week.
I don't know. Fine shit likes the Cowboys, Scott. It might be in my best interest.
The Cowboys may or may not be my survivor choice for the upcoming week.
That's crazy. That's wild.
For record.
That's.
I said May. I'm still working through it, but
that's absurd.
I mean, I'll be at the Ravens game, so if I wanted to take them, I could, but I'd rather save the Ravens for other.
Oh, damn it, Scott! We should have planned this ahead of time.
My friend's having a bachelor party, so I'll be in Baltimore for a couple of days.
God damn it! We should have planned this ahead of time. All right.
If we go to the casino, I'll hit you up.
Okay. 9.5 points. 3 of the last 4 games, Natasha Howard has scored 9.5 points against the Minnesota Lynx. Natasha Howard actually has been pretty solid recently. And I tell you, like, it's just they have those days where they realize that they can't go out there, face up, and get their own shot. So they just say, hey, Natasha Howard, can you go score for us a little bit? Yeah, I got you. 6 of the last 10 games, she's been over 9.5 points. She's been over 9.5 points in her last 2, where she's had 18 and 17. I'm going to go ahead and take her here. Give me Natasha Howard. Yeah. It's been a good bet over the course of the season. And maybe I'll sell myself on a Leah double-double later at some point in the day, but not right now.
Okay.
All right. Chicago Sky on the road, playing the Las Vegas Aces yet again. Second leg of a back-to-back. They played in Vegas the last time. Angel Reese didn't play.
It's okay, Sky fans. There's only 2 games left before this nightmare is over. 2 more games. That's all you have to sweat out at this point.
And then you have to figure out what's going to happen next season. You got to figure out what's happening next season. Is Angel going to even be on the team next season? Like, people are saying that there's no shot they trade her, but, like, I mean, at this point, her value is probably going to go up. Well, I mean, I don't know. Is it going to go up? Because everybody sees how tumultuous this situation is. So, like, you probably got your best value on her right now.
I also like the joke, though, that everyone's kind of being extremely hateful towards Angel because of the comments she made about her team. When we've been saying the same exact comments,
everybody's been saying
social media has been saying the same thing.
Everybody said her team.
I know it's different because you're actually on the team and you kind of indirectly, directly, etc., threw your team under the bus. But we've been saying the entire season this team is garbage, and they need actual players to help her.
Yep.
And she says what everyone's been saying for about 4 months, and everyone's like, what a terrible teammate. It's like, I mean, like, she's not wrong. I'm not going to disagree with her. I don't know if you can say that publicly, but the Sky have been a complete joke all season. So I don't know if that's why. Maybe you could argue the straw that broke the camel's back, but I think she'll be back next year personally. But she said what we all been saying for months, and everyone started, like, hating on Angel for actually saying it, when we all know it's the truth. This team's garbage. Like, what do you want me to say? I know you agree with me. We've been saying.
And you can legitimately, and maybe, like, I get it. You could talk about the shooting percentage last year, and maybe you could add her to the conversation, but she absolutely balled this year. And none of those losses were her fault.
The team has not been winning at all, but if you want to go, like, stat-wise, she's had a better season than Caitlin Clark, and nobody wants to actually acknowledge that being a thing.
Oh, Scott, you're about to get us.
I'm being honest here. I said season. I didn't say she's a better player than Caitlin Clark. But if we're going by season numbers, with Caitlin shooting less than 6% from 3 on the road and missing about 2 months in a row to end the season, I think Angel's had a better year. Stats-wise, you can argue empty calorie stats, whatever you want to call it.
No,
Angel statistically has been better than Caitlin Clark this season. I don't think it's close.
I don't think any of Angel's stats were empty calorie either, seeming how every time I looked at who was guarding her, it was Nafisa Collier, Defensive Player of the Year. She's frying them. Like,
I'm not calling it empty calorie stats either, but people are going to make the counter argument of, well, the team didn't win. The team didn't win anyway, so who cares? But that's not really the point. Yeah. The point is, if you want to read off the stats here, Kaylin averaged 16.5, 5 rebounds, and 8.8 assists. But by shooting percentages, she shot 36% from the floor and 28% from three. You're looking at Angel, who, once again, didn't exactly shoot the ball that well, but she was 46% from the floor. She averaged about 14, 12, and 3. So you could argue stats are a bit close, but Kaylin also missed about 2+ months of the season, and Angel played a lot of games. She also got injured for a portion, but there's an argument that Angel actually had a better season than Caitlin. But, of course, it doesn't really matter because Caitlin's out for the entire postseason, and the Sky suck. So it really doesn't matter that much. But Angel's been good this season. I'm not going to roast Angel. She's been very solid. The team is just not worth a damn. That should not be a hot take.
And she didn't lie.
No,
there was not one lie told. All right. With that being said, Aces laying 18.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Aces right now are 1 game ahead of the Mercury. They are half a game behind the Dream. They own the tiebreaker with the Dream. So this game does matter a lot to the Aces. I think they bury this team by like 25.
Yeah, shout out to Mao in the chat. He did say that. GM was talking about how they said they needed more from her, so he threw her in the bus also. Like, it's just a bunch of just running each other over in the bus because of how the Chicago Sky organization is playing out. And
the key word's accountability. If you want to use the coach as a scapegoat, great. You have 10 wins this season.
But see, you did that last year.
No, that's my point. That's how this all started. You threw your coach under, and then you won 10 games, and then you built a really terrible roster around your star player, and then Angel calls out the front office.
Sky.
And they've done nothing.
Hold on.
So,
Scott, did you know that the team and Courtney Vandersloot have both said they're still committed to each other?
I did not know that.
Courtney Vandersloot said, "Yeah, I'm my age is not a factor right now. I'm still planning on coming back."
Okay, good for her. They could use a point guard. I don't think Courtney would save them like to be a playoff team, but at least she has some leadership and some actual passing ability. But she might be able to throw an entry pass to Angel Reese. Big deal. That's a big deal on this team. But I think it's a lack of accountability from the entire organization. Angel just basically said, "Get me some help," and everyone around her is like, "You have some nerve." You're calling out the front office. Like, no, actually, all of you suck.
I have some nerve for saying everything you guys been saying on TV for the past 40 games.
You are really bad at your job, and I'm tired of it. And it's like, is Angel Reese like a problem? It's like, no, she's actually being very honest. Your entire organization's a joke.
Brutally honest.
So we'll see what happens. But if Angel gets traded, that's a win for Angel because this franchise is right now going down the drain. We'll see what happens. But I agree with what Angel said. You could argue he shouldn't have said it. That should have been a behind closed door situation. But the GM has been a mess. And that has to be something worth noting. The GM's worth all the criticism. He has earned that criticism. He's been really, really bad for the last year. Just throwing that out there.
Yep, 100%. By the way, shout out to Angel for flying to Vegas, warming up, and then not playing in the game.
Yeah, shout out to Angel.
And that's another reason why I'm on Aces here, Scott. I mean, there's a good chance she probably just doesn't even play in the game. And with that, I mean, this team...
You sit around and potentially trade her?
Yeah, they I mean, or just say, you know what, that's it for the season. Because she has been beat up with the back injury for the entire season. Like, you know what?
And I've said before, without injuries, this is an all-time bad team. So the Aces really might win this by 30, 40 points if Angel doesn't play. Because this game matters. They might kill this team.
Scott, only player problem betting in this game is potentially future MVP, 4-time MVP, going out there and having another game. So Asia over 25.5.
Do you think Asia wins it at this point? Because I don't.
So she's
in the running now, but I don't think she gets it.
I don't know.
Close,
I get not wanting to because when you put it you think about it, she's averaged 27 over the past 14 games. But then again, that's just 14 games. But it's really hard. It's really hard to look at what she's done the last 14 games and not realize how much better she is than literally every single person in the league.
Yeah, we've never wavered on this. We've said that Asia was always the best player in the league.
Yep, 100%.
If we had the first pick in a fantasy draft, we would take Asia to start a franchise with. 100%. And she's probably the best player in league history because Maya Moore retired early. Shout out to Hall of Famer Maya Moore.
Maya Moore, Candace Parker, and then we could go further back in the archives and talk about some of the further back ones. But
the point is, Asia has an argument to be the GOAT.
Russell argument.
Asia can be the GOAT in this league. I think Asia's number one in the entire league, but voter fatigue's a thing. The Lynx are the 1 seed. Collier had a chance last year. I still think she gets it. I mean, AT's been crazy too. So it might be a little bit too little too late for Asia, which sounds insane because it's been 14 games, but I don't see Asia winning personally. It's the same thing we mentioned preseason. She's going to be in the running. The voters are not going to give it to her because she already has 3 of them, and they'll give it to either Collier or somebody else, but I think it goes to Collier in the end.
Whichever of the 2 loses will be the person that I bet next year.
Yeah, that's fine.
Should be, yeah. Whichever of the 2 loses will be the one I bet last year. I am sitting on an Nafisa Collier MVP ticket, but do I feel good about it? Absolutely not.
That is a good stat, though, or fact from timeout. Angel has to play 1 more game to qualify for rebounding leader.
Ooh, okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah, didn't know that. All right, shout out to the chat, man. W's in chat. All right, who wants to be next? Before we get to the next team, got to talk to everybody about Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you go tap in with Underdog Fantasy. It is time. NFL is back. So you can go lock in on the fantasy pick'em and win up to 500 times your entry. We're going to drop ours at the end of the show for the WNBA, so stick around for that. Brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5. Get $50 in bonus bets when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Since Novig is an exchange, you know that you're getting some of the best prices on the markets, and you can also use it in 35 plus states. So get over there, download the Novig app, and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Again, get on action with Novig at promo code SGPN. The Los Angeles Sparks are on the road going to play the Phoenix Mercury. Mercury's laying 7.5. 172.5 is the total. Let's get over here and look at a proper injury report for these 2 games. And we have Rickea Jackson is probable, I believe, and Kelsey Plum is questionable to play in the game.
Well, it doesn't get more important than this game.
Yeah, gotta have it. With that being said, I have thoughts on the Mercury, a lot of thoughts, but I ain't gonna blow my nose first, Scott. So I'm gonna let you take off. 7.5 with the Mercury at home.
So I got to mention the Mercury standings here because they are 1 game behind the Aces. So technically, they can pass the Aces. Will they? Absolutely not, because the Aces play the Sky, and they're going to win this game by about 20, 30 points. So they're kind of locked into their seed, not officially. You could argue that this is an important game for the Mercury anyway, because we know how much they care about the actual home court. And I want to see if this is their last home game of the season, because they have 2 games left on the calendar. I believe it is. I think this is their home. Yeah, it is. It's their last home game of the season. You could argue that the Mercury will be sending the home crowd off happy, because we know how much they actually love the home crowd over there in the desert. It's a must-win game for the Sparks. I think I am going to go with the Sparks plus the points. Look, this team can't guard anybody. We know this, but the Mercury have less to play for than the Sparks, and maybe I'll bank on the desperation factor, even though it really did not work out against the Dream. Separately, still. Give me the Sparks plus the points. The Mercury, yes, they can in theory catch the Aces. They're not going to, but in theory they can. Final home game of the season pre-playoff, so maybe they try to send their fans out with a bang. But once again, they are going to be hosting a playoff series, so it's not really that big of a deal. I'll go Sparks plus the 7.5, maybe the money line, but I'm still very, very sketched out betting the money line because I don't trust the Sparks team at all. But I'll go Sparks plus 7.5.
Yeah. It's really hard for me to lay this with the Mercury just because they haven't, looked good at all.
No.
For the last 5 games, they have not gotten a cover. They, in fact, lost the last game outright to the Connecticut Sun. And I just think that it just means too much to the Sparks. I don't think
to be fair, I was on the Mystics plus the points because I acknowledged that the Mercury had to travel East Coast for the first time in a month, and they were really bad on the East Coast trip, which makes sense when you're kind of locked into your seating and you're traveling all the way across the country to play 2 crappy teams you don't care about. So that could be a reason why it was just a letdown situation, but it feels like they're playing out the string at this point.
The two games before that, they had the game against Indiana where it opened up at 6. You push the opening number at 6. It closed at 7.5. They lost. They didn't really look good throughout the course of that entire game. And then, yes, they got up for the Liberty game, but then they went to death with the Chicago Sky. Yeah. That same Chicago Sky team we were talking about. I don't know. I'm very cautious of laying this amount of points with the Phoenix Mercury right now. Maybe they get the win, and maybe this is a heartbreaker for the Los Angeles Sparks, especially if Plum doesn't play. But I think it's a lot of points. I'm going to take Sparks plus points.
Yeah.
172.5 is total. I don't really have an issue of taking the over. I don't. I think that's might be how I bet it. Phoenix team total over. And just fade that Sparks defense yet again. So I'm basically signing up the Mercury for 90 points. It doesn't sound impossible playing the Sparks, actually.
It doesn't.
Let's see here.
AT sends the home crowd off with a triple-double.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Maybe I would play some type of first half over with the Phoenix Mercury here. Maybe that's it. Some type of first half over. Things are really electric to start the game. The Sparks love to push pace and go over in the first half of games as well. Maybe I can get to a first half over in this type of game. So, all right. Player props. Well, I think Reichel is going down swinging. So let's just throw Reichel in the pile. He said the AT triple-double. I do agree. I like AT props today. I like Satu to be able to score on the inside. I like Satu's over 14.5 today here.
Okay.
And it's crazy because I don't have a bet on, or I don't have a look on Clea Copper, but it just feels like Clea Copper could get going in the game too. But it's really I like a big Satu Reichel Jackson game here for me.
Yeah, I think I will mention one other thing though. AT's points against the Sparks have been quite underwhelming. You're looking at her points at 14.5. She has gone under this in 5 of the last 6 games against the Sparks. So if you want to go for something a bit more degen, you can build the triple-double parlay by yourself, which would get you to plus 260 just default as the line. If you want to actually go under 14.5 with the triple-double and go for like a crazy points middle,
yeah,
I think it actually has some merit here. You might find yourself a very good price if you try that. A triple-double with the under 14.5 points might actually drastically increase the payout.
No. I like it. I was laughing at Helm's comment. I said Reichel might go down swinging, and he said figuratively and maybe physically. And this is the team that she did get into it last year with BG, the Phoenix Mercury towards the end of the season. So that's why I thought it was funny. What a coincidence. All right. Yeah, I'm with you here. I kind of want to build. Yeah, I was about to say I'm attempting to build it and see what it. So you build that. Let me know what it looks like.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll build it on DraftKings just for the convenience, but what it comes out to.
If there was a SGP type of game on the slate today, it would probably be the Sparks Mercury game for me, more than likely. Satu, Kalia, AT, Reichel, De'Erica. We didn't talk about her enough, but De'Erica's I would throw in there like that. I feel like there's a lot of options to get a little same game parlay going in this one. All right. Let's see. Oh, Scott's doing the under. That's the Giannis triple double, ain't it?
It was. I did that with Giannis. I took his triple double one time with the under like 30-something.5 points, and that paid out at I think it was like 14-1 or something.
Mm-hmm.
His regular triple double was like 6-1 or something, and I ended up turning it into 14-1. I think it was against Utah because they started playing zone and double teaming him every time, and I'm just like, oh, this is just going to be a perfect spot for him to finish the triple double with like 20 points, and that's exactly what happened. So I'll go for it, but. Unfortunately, DraftKings gave you a really bad payout on the triple-double, so it wasn't worth it. So I'm going to do it right now on FanDuel because they have the best price for the triple-double. So if I throw in AT triple-double with the under 14.5 points, plus 750. It goes from 260 to 750.
Oh, well, when you say it like that.
It basically triples, not really triples in odds, but kind of. So you get a decent payout there. It's basically tripling in odds. So I can handle that.
Okay. Seattle Storm at home welcoming my Valkyries to town. Storm laying 6.5, 151.5 is the total. Jesus Christ, Valkyries. Dragging that total all the way down. All right. Hold on. Not player props. I'm sorry. Injury report. That's what I was trying to say. Injury report for these two teams. And Zenolcini's out. Tip Hayes is out. That's about it. All right. Well, Valkyries first half for sure. I mean, that's still never in doubt. We've got 2 more games to play that. And we have officially secured that we have never lost 3 in a row on the Valkyries first half all season, Scott.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a run.
Never lost 3 in a row all season. So, with that being said, I mean, I'm not.
The Storm can right every wrong just by winning this damn game and clinching a playoff spot at this point.
Yeah, but are the Storm even going to do that?
No, it might not even matter because if the Sparks lose to the Mercury, who cares?
No, very much should. Yeah, the Sparks lose. Doesn't matter. So if I'm already penciling Golden State to have a first half lead, or at least a competitive first half in the game, like, look at these last 5 games. Jesus Christ. Okay, you beat Chicago Sky by 10. You didn't even cover that. You get dogged by the Fever at home. You lose to this version of the Sparks and the New York Liberty. And somehow you have a road win against Minnesota as an 8.5-point dog. I mean, it's just clear. It's clear and simple and easy for me, Scott. You don't take this team as a favorite. You back them as a dog. This is why it's going to be very, very, very uncomfortable the first week of the playoffs betting this team against the Minnesota Lynx. But you take the Storm as a dog, and you fade them as a favorite. 9-24 on the season as a favorite. Going up against my Valkyries, who are 18-11-1 as a dog. Level of defense here that the Valkyries can provide is just way better than the level of defense that the Storm could do on their best day. At this point, the season's over for them defensively, and any adjustments that they're going to have trying to become a better defensive team. I will take the Valkyries plus 6.5 here. There has never been a number with the Valkyries that I have not liked. Golden State Valkyries first half spread. You could get 3.5 at multiple books. It seems like that's the best place. There's a plus 190 at Bet365 on the money line as well. Yes,
so you're going Valkyries.
Valkyries plus 6.5. I'm sorry if I sounded like Kramer there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Valkyries as well. You could argue Seattle at home, chance to clinch a playoff spot. They're just going to get the job done. I'll believe it when I see it. Simply put, I have no faith in this team at all. If you want to make an argument, the Storm have a decent lead and then find a way to blow it and the game's close, that wouldn't shock me either. But the total being 151.5, believe it or not, sounds high to me. They played 3 times this season, and none of those meetings have reached 150. In fact, the highest scoring game this season was the first meeting back on June 14th. That landed 146. The other meeting after that landed 141, and the only game in Seattle, which took place on July 16th, landed 125.
I remember that.
I'll go under 151.5.
All right. Play props. Yeah, I like the under 2. I'm not going to bet it. It's too low for me to bet, honestly. But because I could see a world where the Valkyries just randomly start hitting everything and send the Storm home very, very sad.
Is that honestly or honestly truly?
Honestly, truly.
Okay, just ask.
Had to make sure. Let's see here. We can go with what?
I'm trying to think if there's anybody on Seattle I actually want to back in this game. That's where I'm stuck at the moment.
I'm almost there at NECA. I'm just trying to figure out what way would I like to play it. Maybe points and rebounds.
I thought Skylar assists at 5.5 at -120. She has had 6 in back-to-back games, despite the lack of offense by both teams in those matchups. Like, the Storm scored less than 68 points in both of those final 2 meetings.
Yeah, I'm good on
props. And she had 6 anyway. So.
Yeah, I'm good on props. Good point. I'm good on
props. It's going to be probably an ugly game. Maybe a rebound prop if you want to go for some ugly basketball. Gabby maybe rebounds for once. If you want to go for a NECA rebounds, that can maybe be worth something. But, yeah, I think I'm good. Ezzy, though, 5.5 rebounds. She has had 6+ in 8 of the last 10. And in the head-to-head, she has had at least 6 in every game this season. So I don't mind Ezzy over 5.5 rebounds. -112.
All right. Then that's it here, Scott. Let's figure it out. Lot, dog, underdog. For the lock.
So many choices, so many games.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of choices. Lock goes to Kelsey Mitchell over 19.5 points. She's been very, very good against Minnesota. And I mean, they just keep giving her the ball. So we'll go play the prop for the lock today. Dog. Honestly, Scott, I know we clinched. And I know they have something extremely important to play for. But goddamn it, something in my soul tells me that the Storm are going to be on bullshit today, Scott.
They could be. They could be.
Give me my Valkyries plus 240 for the full game. Scott, I will have a halftime, full-time going for the Valkyries on the road here in the last game of the season for the Seattle Storm because I just don't trust the Storm team. And at the end of the day, whatever I've been saying about the Storm, Scott, I've been saying they are a 500 ball club. What do they have to do to be a 500 ball club for the season, Scott?
They got to finish with the same amount of wins and losses. So
they got to lose here. They got to lose here. They're 22-21. They got to lose here. I'm calling it 500 ball club for the season, Seattle Storm. Give me the Valkyries plus 240 for a dog on the money line. Screw the Storm. All right. Over to you.
All right. So for me, for my lock, I know the Aces just won the last meeting against this team by 14. Without Angel Reese, I get all that. But the point is, I am going to go with the Aces to win this game very, very handily. Important game for them. Game means nothing to the Sky. They want to go home. They're still in Vegas. Angel might not play. I think the Aces bury him. I'm going to lay the massive number. Give me the Aces minus 17.5. They won by 14 once again the last game, but they only scored 10 points in the fourth quarter because they were up by so much. They could have easily won that game by 30 if they wanted to. They just took their foot off the gas. The Aces right now are in a spot where they can secure the 2 seed potentially. So they do need to win out. Final home game of the season. I think they give the crowd a show. Give me the Aces minus 17.5 as my lock for the show. For my dog, do I want to go for the AT very creative triple-double at around 850 on Bet365? Or do I want to go for something a bit safer? Because I think there is a path there for that. But is there anything I'm really tempted by? I mean, Hamby's been very good. I don't mind a Hamby play, actually. But she has been good against the Mercury in the past. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll go for Glory here. I will go with the AT triple-double play. So give me AT triple-double with her under 14.5 points, a combo. So AT needs a triple-double with 10 to 14 points, plus 850 on Bet365. You know what? That'll be my bonus talk, because I'll give out a one that I also feel decent about, because I don't want to just give that out by itself. I feel like I'm kind of robbing people of another play here. So instead of doing all that, I'm going to go with another play. I am going to pick the Storm to win, but I do think they're going to be wait a second. I think they're going to be on their bullshit too. So I am going to meet in the middle here. I'm going to go for the Storm to win 1-10. Give me the win margin. Storm 1-10's it's at plus 135. I can't even take it. It doesn't even qualify. That sucks. Okay, never mind. Give me the Lynx to win the game against the Fever 1-10. And you can get that at plus 170. So once again,
that feels better.
My lock is going to be on the one. What the hell is my lock I just gave out? I forgot what the hell I gave out. What I give out for my lock?
What?
Do you remember what I gave out?
You're blanking, because now you got me thinking about the freaking Seattle Storm 1-10 play.
Yeah, I gave out the aces. I like the massive number with the aces at 17.5.
The aces number because you think that the Skies suck.
Yeah, so for the aces, minus 17.5, minus 110 is my lock. Dog, give me the Lynx to win 1-10, plus 170. And my super dog is the AT
super dog. What is this, college game day?
Yeah. AT triple-double with her under 14.5 points, plus 850.
All right.
That's what I got.
Underdog lineup. Let's see. Let's throw. Nope, nothing in that game. Let's go Natasha Howard. Higher 9 points.
It's a low number.
Very low number. Let's go Asia Wilson over 25.5 points.
Okay. And do you want to go for ATRA?
Oh, yeah. Let's go do it.
Okay.
All right. AT, as soon as I find it. Points. There we go. RA. 19.5 here, Scott. You're basically calling for the triple-double.
Oh, it's a sports fan saying it's 550 now on Bet365. Somebody said before it was 850. I'll go by the FanDuel line. FanDuel's plus 7. FanDuel's plus 750.
You nuked the odds in the time that we've been on the stream, Scott.
Apparently so. So FanDuel has plus 750. I'll take that instead.
Complete nuked odds there. All right, Alyssa Thomas over 19.5 rebounds and assists. Yeah, Asia Wilson higher 25.5 points. And Natasha Howard higher 9.5 points. That's all we need from her. 6.86x, Scott.
All right.
$100 gets you $686 over there. Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. And with that, Scott, we're done with another episode. We'll be back to break down.
We're almost at the playoffs. We're almost there.
Almost there. And then that's where this is going to get fun, because I'm really interested to see how this home and home little thing works. We have not had to break down a series like that ever, because this is the first time they're doing it. And it doesn't seem like the best idea right now. But we'll see what it looks like for that Phoenix and New York Liberty series that we're projecting to happen. All right. He's at Reichel Radio. I'm at really __. Make sure you give us a follow on X. WNBA Gambling Podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Give us a 5-star rating and review. Like the video before you get out of here. Shout out to the chat. The chat was rolling today. Make sure you go check it out. YouTube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. And with that, Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Not really. I'm just going to throw it out there, though, that if the Storm actually do win against the Valkyries, or if the Sparks lose tonight, damn, we have no drama in the playoff race. And that kind of sucks going into the final day of the season. So we'll see, but looking forward to the playoffs. Should be fun.
All right. And with that, that is it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to do it like this. We're not doing this right now. We're out of here.